The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt was arguably the best game of 2015, and now CD Projekt Red are closing the book on the open world epic with the release of the game's final DLC, Blood and Wine. In this video, we'll be taking a look at 10 things that you need to know about The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine. Let's get right into this. Number 1, The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine is introducing a brand new zone in Toussaint, and it's pretty big. Estimates have it being about as big as all of the islands of Skellige combined. This new region is much brighter and vibrant compared to the world of the main game, which has been torn apart by war. The people in the DLC are much more relaxed and don't have the worries that the NPCs in the main game have.
Their goods and tend to the vineyards, making the finest wines this side of the Pontar. It's a land ripe with opportunity, full of...
Number 2, Blood and Wine will include over 90 brand new quests and over 40 new points of interest. The content is expected to take around 30 hours to complete.
Well, I think it's time I told you a story.
Number 3, there are many new gameplay mechanics that are being introduced in Blood and Wine, including new mutations, new enemies, vineyards, armor dies, new Gwent cards, and fistfights. We'll cover some of these more in depth later on. Number 4, The Witcher 3 is a very good looking game, and Blood and Wine is seen as a graphics upgrade from the base game. The DLC is also expected to run better, running at a consistent 30 FPS on consoles.
A man never pangs with hunger, never wants for company, and never goes anywhere without a drink in his hand. But with all this debauchery and drink...
Number 5, a new dynamic point of interest system has been introduced. When players interact with the main point of interest in an area, that interaction will affect adjacent points of interest. For example, if you kill some bandits in their main hideout, the number of bandits in surrounding camps will be affected. Number 6, 12 new mutations have been added. For example, enemies that are knocked back by R to freeze and die instantly, instead of dying the player is healed and gets a damage immunity. Enemies that are killed with a critical hit from a sign explode. Number 7, the user interface has been redesigned. It's much more organized now because of its greater use of space. Information is presented in a much better format using every inch of the screen it can. Number 8, there is a new armor dye mechanic. Every single piece of Witcher gear can have its color changed with new dyes. Dyes can be found from dropped loot, bought from the new dye merchant, and crafted with recipes and ingredients found around the world. Dyes are only found in the Blood and Wine's new zone of Toussaint. Along with the armor dye, 100 new pieces of armor have been added, which include new Witcher armor sets.
I'd like to look at the corpse before it starts to decompose.
The inn. Its patrons must have seen the guardsman.
Number 9, for the Blood and Wine, CD Projekt Red had over 14,000 new lines of dialogue recorded. In comparison to The Witcher 3's last DLC, Hearts of Stones, that only had 6,000 lines recorded.
Toussaint, the land of love and wine.
Exactly how I remembered it.
Number 10, the reviews for Blood and Wine are already in, and they are overwhelmingly positive. The DLC is currently sitting at a 91 on Metacritic, with a 9 out of 10 from IGN, a 94 from PC Gamer, and a 4.5 out of 5 from Games Radar. The wait is almost over for The Witcher 3's final piece of DLC. It releases on May 31st.
Artystów.
Przyjeżdżę do Toussaint i tam jest festiwal wina. Tam się wszyscy cieszą.
Jest to prześliczny port.
So that wraps up 10 things you need to know about The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine. What do you think? Will you be picking up the last DLC to The Witcher 3? Or have you yet to get around to the base game? Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.